India is a water-rich country with 4% of world's water resources. The rivers have been the heart and soul of the India's growth as well as culture, other than rivers and canals. Moreover, rivers provide potable water, cheap transportation, electricity, and livelihood for many people nationwide. Around 80% of India's water is severely polluted because people dump raw sewage, silt and garbage into the country's rivers and lakes. This has led to water being undrinkable and the population having to rely on illegal and expensive sources.
The rapid increase in the population, the demand for irrigation, human and industrial consumption of water has increased considerably, thereby causing depletion of water resources. Currently, India is facing immense challenges arising from rapid population growth and intense urbanization, where about 45% of the population now lives in towns and cities, and the population densities are much higher than other parts of the world. Due to rapid urbanization, human activities have had a significant impact on the ecological environment. The impact of population on the ability of water sources to meet the demands placed in them by society is paralleled by the effects of population on the quality of water resources. Also, rapid urbanization causes disorganized and unplanned growth in India, owing to the fact of receiving increased water supply through pipelines or groundwater. In urban areas, water is tapped for domestic and industrial use from rivers, streams, lakes, ponds, wells, etc. Nearly 80% of water supplied for domestic use passes out as wastewater. Governments supply water to the communities for the potable use, such as washing, cleaning, bathing and other secondary purposes. Due to population migration and unplanned cities and town growth, the wastewater end up in lakes and rivers. In most cities, the sewage flows into the open drains and stormwater drains. Untreated wastewater flowing into water bodies through open drains has almost 12,000 million liters per day to 25,000 million liters per day from Class 1 and 2 towns. In India, people discharge solid waste along with wastewater into the drain, causing the sewage to stagnate and develop mosquitoes, parasites and disease-causing viruses. As a result, the percentage of deaths due to sewage is increasing annually. The government constructed open drains for the purpose of discharge rainwater runoff. Due to increase in urbanization and the number of rural people constantly coming to the city, is turning the open drains into wastewater carrier. The open drains passing through the main cities causing serious threats to surface water bodies and also human health. Water management and open drainage is a continuous challenges in cities and towns. The government announced Jal Jeevan Mission to build underground drains to connect individual households in cities and towns. Huge investment we're spending by the government, but it needs to take several years to complete, and the unplanned urban development exacerbates the situation. Many localities do not even have a well-defined sewerage system. Also, improper handling of domestic wastewater in the urban areas ultimately finds its own path of getting into the lakes and rivers. Many sacred rivers and lakes are turning into sewage. During the festive season, the situation gets worse than ever. The people of India are hopeful that their sacred river will reach its old state. The pumping stations are made to transport wastewater to the treatment facilities. However, it requires high electricity and human resources. Nowadays, government tapping individual drain at their end and transporting wastewater, but due to high sewage generation, the wastewater overflow from the drain. To tackle the sewage problem in India, government building centralized STP for wastewater treatment. The centralized system are expensive, require complex operations and maintenance. It is estimated that the total cost of establishing a treatment system for the entire domestic wastewater is about 10 times the Indian government plans to spend. Most of the centralized treatment system failed due to improper design, poor maintenance, frequent electricity breakdowns, and lack of technical manpower. The facilities constructed to treat wastewater do not function properly and remain closed. One of the major problem with current centralized approach has no direct economic return. That's why local authorities are generally not interested in taking up. In developing nations like India, construction of centralized wastewater treatment plants is too expensive to build and maintain. In addition to cost of connecting residents and businesses to a centralized treatment plant via sewage lines may be impracticable due to the greater distance. Also, high organic loading, low oxygen concentration, physical short circuiting and loss of old sludge led the treated water not under latest NGT norms. Most of the centralized treatment system discharged partially treated wastewater into the surface water bodies like lakes and rivers. Water pollution still occurs as sewage discharged into open drains. It contaminates the surface and groundwater water bodies. Current wastewater management in India continues to require more financial and energy resources. This is even more of a barrier in question to an innovative concept of managing urban cities like smart cities. From the facing issues by the government and people of India, a novel in situ technology is the need of the hour to rectify the urban and developing area. We, Telemachus High-Tech Private Limited, providing solution for the open drain, Ganda, Nala, in the form of ISR modular sewage treatment plant. ISR technology provide wastewater treatment in single stretch, and it can be expanded or reduced in the drain itself. It consumes less manpower, electricity and land than compared to other technologies. Our solution for urban areas like smart cities eliminates sewer lines, construction, pumping station and centralized infrastructure. At last we can help you by 100% wastewater recovery from the drain building. 40 to 50% of freshwater consumption will reduce in smart cities and urban and developing area. ISR. Treated water meet 95% of water demand in all type of building. 100% can be used for groundwater reservoir recharge,